Now we're doing Chapter 5, Problem 25, which is here on page 226 in your book. Here we've got a new situation where we've got some information about the company, and then if the company wants to make more units, they're going to have to rent space. So I think about it along this picture right here. We've got a base case where we can make 16,000 units of this new product, and the fixed expenses will be $35,000 a month. But we're going to have to go outside and rent more space if we want it. We're going to have to change variable cost, which will change contribution margin, and we're going to have to add $1,000 a month. So you're going to see we're going to have to do the calculations for the base plus for the add-on. We can't average them together. So here, the monthly break even for the new toy. So for the first 16,000 units in our factory, we're going to sell the toy for $3. It'll cost us $1.25. So $1.75 is the contribution margin per unit. When we go over 16,000 units, that's when we have to rent the space. Our variable cost changes, so our contribution margin changes. So the way to think about this is the first 16,000 units, we're going to make $1.75 contribution margin per unit, or $28,000. Our fixed costs are $35,000, so the $28,000 is not enough to break even. 35 is what we've got to cover. 28 is what we get out of the first batch of units in the base case. So we've got 7,000 to go. We're going to have to rent space to make those 7,000 units. We're going to have to add a fixed cost of $1,000. We have a new fixed cost of $8,000 on those units. So now we're looking at the add-on. The remaining fixed cost of $8,000, that's the 7 left over plus the $1,000 of additional rent, divided by the contribution margin on the added units. Make sure you're not doing the base case CM, you're doing the CM from the new units with the higher variable cost. So on those units, we're going to have 5,000 units in order to cover our fixed cost. So the total we're going to have 21,000 units, 16,000 out of our own factory, 5,000 out of the rented factory is going to be required to break even at $3 a unit, $63,000 in total sales. That's requirement 1. That's the hardest part. Now requirement 2, if we want to make a monthly profit of $12,000, we can just add that on to what we've just done. So what we got to cover is that target profit. We're going to get it at $1.60 a unit because we're still in the rental facility. We've already done everything we can in our own plant. So we need 7,500 units in addition to the 21,000 units to break even. So we're going to have 28,000 total units to reach our target profit of $12,000, and that's part 2. Part 3 gets a little more complex with the sales manager getting a bonus for everything beyond break even. So 10 cents a unit after the break even point. So the contribution margin on units after break even is going to drop from $1.60 where we were to $1.50. Now here's a new concept. You're going to see this for the rest of the course. Expected return on investment. Here we're calculating it as a percentage return on our investment in monthly fixed cost. $35,000 in our own plant, $1,000 of additional rent for an additional factory. So 25% times 36,000, 9,000 is the return we want to get. That's our target profit. So we're going to take that 9,000 divided by the $1.50 that we're going to earn on every unit in addition to the units to break even. So we have the original 21,000 units to break even. Now we have a new CM for units above break even with the additional 10-cent bonus. We've got to get to $9,000 to get to target profit. That's going to take 6,000 units. So 6,000 units plus the 21 at break even, 27,000 units each month to reach our target profit when we're paying the sales manager a bonus. And that is problem 25.